So I am here with Marissa. She is an interior designer. As you guys know, my name is Farah. I am with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I'm a realtor, and this is Let's Talk Thursday. You guys, I know I've been gone for a while, but I want to come back, and I wanted to come back with a hit. So I will have different people come on here every Thursday to talk about the industry, and it's just not going to be about real estate. It's going to be about all type of things because I'm a mom, I'm a traveler. I got so many things on my plate, and I love women. I love to empower women. If you can see my shirt, okay. So I am about to, shoot it over to Marissa, who is the owner of Glass House Interior.
Yes.
Okay, and she's gonna tell us a little bit about herself. So go ahead, Marissa. Tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you, Miss Farrell, for having me. I'm super, super excited to be a part of Let's Talk Thursdays. Again, I am Marissa Nelums. I'm the founder and creative director for Glass House Interior. We are a residential and commercial design firm based in Chicago, Illinois, but we do have projects nationwide.
Awesome. Yeah, and if you're not following her, please do. I have been in love with everything she have done, what, in a couple of years now. I think we met at the 300 Black Women 300.
Yeah,
So
that's been some years now,
yes,
right?
yes. So I have been in love with your technique, the colors. I mean, it's just she's so bold, you guys. I mean, look at her background right now, right? So I've always been in love with the things that you have done. So tell us a little bit about your background, your experience. Briefly describe your professional background, and how you got about doing interior design.
Well, it was very much by accident. I was a fashion stylist, so I was in the fashion industry for many years.
Okay.
I shifted over into commercial retail, so like luxury department stores, all of the crazy window displays you see on like Fifth Avenue, Michigan Avenue. That was me and my team. We did all the crazy displays and things hanging from the ceilings, and it was really at that place where I learned how to create an environment. And from there, I decided to decorate my apartment one day and I put it on social media. And someone actually stole the pictures and posed as the designer for my home. So it kind of sparked something in me, right? I'm like, what's going on? It really sparked something in me. Anger was the first emotion, but then curiosity came very, very quickly after that. And I started to pour myself into learning more about design. If my work was good enough to steal, it must have had some value to it. And I
Yes.
needed to seek that out for myself. So I am a self-taught interior designer. I do have the background in fashion, which I like to say they run hand in hand. Styling a home is very much like styling an outfit, just using textiles instead.
Right.
And furniture. So that's the only difference. But it has been an incredible journey since the transition from that industry to interior design. I have been in business now for going on 8 years, and it's just truly, truly, truly an amazing thing to even say that out of my own mouth. I'm still shocked, in this moment. Just about a year and a half ago, we opened our first brick and mortar store here in Chicago, which is located right on I-94 on Wentworth Street, right next to Sox Park. You cannot miss us. Big old glass house interior right on the expressway. So that was an incredible accomplishment. We have had our hands in a lot of different things over the years. In addition to having the design firm, I also have the home store, but then it started as an online store and did really, really well for us. So we decided to open the brick and mortar and just continue to see the success there and being able to just put even a little bit of glass house in every single home across the nation has been an incredible, incredible honor.
I love that. You actually hit so many bullet points I wanted to go through.
Oh,
So
look, I'm sorry.
no. I love it all because I'm just like what inspired you in your career. And I mean, I love Macy's, especially around the Christmas time. So to know that you were one of the people that did that, I'm like, kudos, because I'm a Christmas lover. And I am pretty sure that your most achievement or a huge milestone was opening up your store.
Yes, it was because I came from a retail background for many years and I really wanted to get my hands on a store that I could curate myself and live in and love in and just, put my effort into that. It was one of the top for sure, top accomplishments.
I love that. I am definitely going to have to come and stop by. I'm trying to do a little bit myself in my own home. And, while we're going through that, what, um, can you briefly explain your approach and your methodology about when you come into someone's house? Because I have a lot of clients, right? Right now, the market is different.
The
So,
market's different, yes, but people still buying houses. I have two friends that closed yesterday, so people are still buying houses, as you
yes,
know.
yes, they are. But, I have to tell my clients, we can't get everything on a bare budget, if that makes sense,
Yes,
right? And
yes,
a
yes,
lot of first time home buyers are looking for a list of things. And I just want to like maybe talk to you a little bit about that, right? Especially for a first time home buyer that don't have 5, 6, 700,000 to buy a house. They have, around 250 to 350, and they have to come in and imagine what their house
yes.
would be. What is your approach to something like that? And can you give any advice for like first time home buyers or, them walking into a place?
Okay, so I literally had this conversation with my attorney yesterday who purchased a home in Texas. And he was telling me how his wife was struggling his wife is also a good friend of mine over 15 years, is one of my first friends in Chicago. So I know her very well. And he was explaining how she was having trouble envisioning some of the homes that weren't staged. And he was like, it's just like she just can't really see through them. And I was like, well, he was like, I got to get you down here. We got to get you to look at the house. And I said, well, do you realize where the name came from? We were going over some legal documents right before that. I said, do you know where the name came from, Glass House? He's like, no, where? I said, it actually came on the revelation of the fact that I can look through something like glass and see through to its fullest potential. And that's exactly what you're talking about here in this moment. It's just having the eyes and the vision to actually see something for its fullest potential. I made an incredible amount of equity enhancement to my condo because it was ugly. It was not pretty. I, put some sweat equity into it and it has like grew so much in terms of the equity. I'm just like extremely, extremely proud of that. And that's all because of just being able to see through to its potential. So the one thing I could say is okay. A couple things. I was telling them yesterday when we were talking about this, a couple things that you can look for. Try not to look at things that are cosmetic. I think when you are a new home buyer and you don't have a large budget and you know you're going to have to compromise on some things, go into it understanding what cosmetic is and what is going to be a total overhaul. Because some things that are cosmetic have, such minimal changes and such minimal money that will make the aesthetic look completely different, like paint or doors or just things like that would lighting that would really enhance a space and not kill the bank. So try to on listings just ignore the yellow walls and the orange walls of 2005 because I know those are still out there, right? Yeah, right.
Yes. Yes.
They're very much out there. So I would say things like cosmetic changes, just really like not putting so much emphasis on them because they're so minor. And honestly, to a blind eye and someone who doesn't know how to look through it, they can miss out on a gem of a home because a home can have great bones, but the cosmetic updates are so, just wonky that it can kind of turn you off if you're not looking deep enough. So just bypass all the cosmetic things, carpet, paint, those are small things. You can fix those.
Yes.
Now, if there's cracks in the roof and the foundation is a
That's
mess,
my job.
then that's where I'm like, okay, you probably don't want to do something like that. But I think a lot of the times just taking those, blinders off and not seeing the chaos that the previous owner may have created in terms of their aesthetic and really envisioning how you can redo that yourself. And another thing is, I think a lot of listings who have like original furniture to the owner, and hasn't staged or hasn't decluttered, that can be a turn off a lot of times to people because they can't see past grandma's couch from the 80s to
Right.
see that the hardwood floor is beautiful, the crown molding is beautiful, the
Mm.
arched doorways are beautiful. So I think, just really focusing on the bones and the features of the home and not so much the aesthetic will definitely take a buyer's dollar a long way.
Yeah, I mean, I have really walked through so many houses and have like, these are really good bones, and
Yeah.
you can do this, you can do that. Don't look at that. This is just all cosmetics. Like you said, I have been in the basement or I've been in the storage room, and if I see a crack in the wall, we're walking out. But
Yeah.
if I know you have a budget, and then I have to let them know, like, hey, this is your first home. Live in it. I tell them on average, people stay in their first home 3 to 5 years, and they're moving up, and then you could use that equity to put in your next one. Don't keep living in an apartment paying rent,
Yes.
and you can bring the money back to you in 5 years. Now you can use all the money that you gave back to yourself into someone new.
And
So
more if you do it the right way. And that's what
yes,
I was blessed to do. I'm coming up on year 4 now in my place, and we're already 6 figures in equity, just based off of it was hideous. No one wanted it. It was on the market for 300 days. I was like, oh, I'll take it. I'll make it great. I renovated before I ever even moved in, and it was one of the best purchases I've ever made. So honestly, taking the uglier of the choices and negotiating down is like my jam. I'm very frugal in that way. So I
yeah,
would totally encourage, especially the clients and buyers who are on a budget, to really just bypass the noise of a slightly ugly space.
yeah,
Ugly meaning like the aesthetic.
right,
Those things
right.
can be changed.
Right. And with that being said, do you have any advice of like where do you do any type of like, video call consultations, or hey, you can go
Absolutely.
to like Home Depot and learn how to paint, certain things that you could say like, hey, it doesn't take too much to do, but do you have any type of like
Absolutely. So we have a lot of different tiered services. We have starting off at our one of our smaller services is just a virtual consultation where you can literally take us on a video chat of the space, and we can give you verbal recommendation like, you know what, if you knock that wall down, it's going to enhance this kitchen, it's going to make it feel better. And no, we're not going to give you links. No, we're not going to give you pictures to that service, but it's a couple $100 and you can really get a professional to walk you through some of your tricky areas. In Chicago alone, I know you probably know a lot of the homes have very interesting layouts that if they're not new construction. So you might find a weird little nook over here or a little, bump out somewhere, and you just don't know how to work with that. I think just using one of those services definitely can be extremely beneficial to the person and that space, just to get a professional's eye on it and give you some advice on what you could do there. One of the next things that we offer is our e-design service, and we sell those all the time, all over the country. For the people who are not able to get to us and can't have us travel to them, we have what's called an e-design service. And what that is we take a picture of the space and we redesign it on a 3D rendering, and we redesign it to its fullest potential. So you'll have everything that one of our rooms for full service would have, but on a rendering. And then at the end of that rendering, we're going to give you shop links and instructions on how to implement it into your home. So it's basically you get like this bundled a la carte, room design without having to do full service. So you won't get the white glove treatment of our team coming in to do everything for you, managing all of your deliveries and white glove installing them, but you'll get exactly how it's supposed to look, exactly what you're supposed to buy, and exactly how you're supposed to put it in. And a lot of people have had great success with that service. So I would highly recommend that too, especially people who are on a budget and still want to have that aesthetic and that vibe of just a beautifully designed space. But I kind of want to take a swing at it myself, or I kind of want to save a little money. I think the e-design service is absolutely incredible, and a lot of people love it.
I have a whole list of people I'm gonna send you, investors that they do
I
flip.
actually do it for investors. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. I had a client of mine, this is how I actually started working with investors. I had a client of mine who had a family member who was trying to get their property on the market in Hyde Park, and it's
Mhm.
gorgeous double duplex. Like it's just absolutely stunning, right? but it hadn't been updated since like the 80s.
Mhm.
So even though the layout was beautiful, the views were beautiful, everything was like good bones. Again, aesthetic, not so much. We still had pink tile in the bathrooms and, all that good stuff. So we were able to redesign it. I actually recommended to her, I was like, why don't you just have it redesigned for the realtor? And then the realtor can add that to their deck, and that will help sell the home faster. The home was on the market for a very long time prior to the renderings, and it sold very quickly right after that we provided those for them. So there is a true testament to having a visual element to being
Mhm.
able to sell a property and actually envision how you're going to live in it.
I have so many people that don't see the vision, and if I tell them the vision, they still don't see it. So yes, I have.
That's where I come in at, right? That's where I
Yes.
come.
And I already told you, I'm putting you down for every event with my realtor, so you will see.
I love it.
Now, okay, so let's get into, so you, things change, right? Just style, fashion, everything changes. So how do you stay on top of the industry? How do you stay on top of what's fresh, what's new, or even, it's always those people that think outside the box, right?
Mhm.
So even though we think like that may not work, but then you're like, who heard of a black kitchen? But then you see a black kitchen, you're like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Like, what is your approach to something like that?
Well, I like to think naturally I'm very innovative,
Mm.
and I focus my energy on being extremely different. And I kind of do my projects like I would style my outfit. So, again, prior to interior design, it was all about fashion for me. And when I shop for clothes, I always look for crazy statement pieces. And that's why I'm like frustrated sometimes where I need to be casual and I can't be casual because there's like a boa with like feathers. And there's like, if you look at my closet, it's like a costume fair, right? There's all this stuff, right? And the reason why I just love those statement pieces is because if you did neutrals or casual pieces underneath, you're still just very interesting and they're almost conversation pieces. And I like to style rooms the same exact way. So although there may be staple pieces, signature colors, neutral colors to kind of ease the eye, I always like to add in those like, oh wow, I didn't think of that moment, so that it really draws the eye to the consumer. So we start off tame, as they like to say. We start off tame when we're in the design studio, and then we just kind of layer in unexpected elements throughout the project that really draw the eye in. And I think that has a lot to do with why our brand has gone viral in many capacities based off of just like things that you don't see. And that's really where we kind of put our effort in, is the unknown.
Now, if you guys, like I said, if you guys are not following her, please do, because I'm gonna have some pictures and videos to show you the what she's talking about. I mean, it's crazy, it's beautiful, I love it.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
now, I really want to dig into well, first, all these shows out here, right? What are I just want to bring that up. What is one of your favorite like flip shows and
I don't watch them. I don't watch them.
Mhm.
People ask me that all the time. I have in the beginning of my career, I would say in the middle of the career of that last 8 years, I have turned down opportunities for television. I'm still a very like behind the scenes type of person. I'm a creative in that way. One day I'll get out there. I'm breaking my way into that a little bit more. I love to speak, but TV it's a different arena. It's
it's
very, if
it's a
you know
different animal.
anything about the industry, it's very, very staged. And I like to think of myself as a very authentic person, and I like to stay true to that. So it's not gonna always be aligned with like how I think and what I
Right.
envision. So I just don't watch a lot of the shows. It's not exciting or interesting to me to see construction when I'm there all day, doing it all day. So when I come home, I want to watch like Sex in the City. Like I don't want to watch like the construction shows because I was there all day at work.
You do give me the Carrie vibes, and I'm not even gonna lie, that is like a really good show just for the whole industry you're in anyway. A lot of your rooms I can see Carrie, so
Yeah, right. I have deemed myself since I was like 12 years old the Black Carrie Bradshaw. So,
yeah,
sidebar, their new series, I was really excited to see women of color because I finally felt like my character has been brought to life
yeah.
on the new episodes. But sidebar, I am just definitely ecstatic to watch anything that is beautiful, spaces and interiors, but not so much the process of it all. I don't think the process is that interesting to me anymore. Like I said, I literally do this all day, every day.
Right.
So hearing construction, like I don't like that's the last thing I want to hear when I'm home.
I mean, I guess you're right. I used to love all the real estate shows before I got into real estate. And then when I got into it, I'm like, they can get fined for that. This is not.
Right, like that's not real. Like that, they can't do that in 3 days. That doesn't cost that amount of money. That doesn't. It's a lot of things that don't add up, and they're not very realistic. So there
Right.
are great designs in there, great designers. I am very connected in the design community with other designers, and they're my colleagues, and I love them and I support them. So any of my colleagues who have shows or podcasts or anything of that sort, I always tune in and support 1000%, just because I love to see, people that I know personally succeed and excel. So I'll definitely tune in for something like that. But for the most part, you're not going to catch HGTV playing too much unless it's like one of my friends.
Hey, I understand. I'm a HDTV person just because like I'm a huge fan of you, and I'm a huge fan of like getting the house in order and making it.
Yeah.
But I'm a scary person. Like, oh my gosh, am I going to be the one that's going to put a hole in my wall? I don't know how to test
Yeah,
that.
it's a bit intimidating. It is a bit intimidating at first glance, but I can see how being a realtor, you seeing the end result or the processing of how to make the home beautiful after you've sold it all day, it would be exciting. So I totally get that.
I can give you my expertise of what you should do, but if I'm gonna have to get up there and do it, I'm a
Oh,
little.
same with me. You see my nails. I don't do, I don't get too dirty anymore. But you know what? I do that. I will get in there. I will sweep. But in terms of demo or actual construction, we do work with a construction company. Apart from our design firm, we are a design firm, not a construction company. So we do work with construction companies and contractors, that would do any like physical labor or anything of that sort.
Right,
So when
right.
it comes to the staging and making everything beautiful and getting everything in line, that's where me and my team will come in and do our little fairy dust everywhere.
Little dazzle,
Little
razzle dazzle, a
dazzle.
little bit of something. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about just mentoring, right? And people that's looking to get into this type of field, right? What is your advice for women that's looking to be an interior designer and how they can, just put their best foot forward?
First of all, buy my new book. Here's the thing about design. It is launching in 2 weeks. I know this is a pre-record, so by the time this is out, the book will be out. It's called Here's the Thing About Design. And it is an ebook that's going to take you on a guided, workbook to show you what interior design is, ask you questions on why you think you should be in this industry, and then also give you insights on how to establish a successful design firm. There are many things that go into having a design firm, from legal aspects to, branding components. And we really want to give people the blueprint on how to establish the foundation. Now, we won't necessarily tell you how to be creative and how to be artistic in that way, but we will tell you how to establish a good business. And because a design business is a very interesting one, it's very, not a lot of designers. I'll say this, their design has been around since ancient times. Like, it has been around for a very long time, but the popularity of interior design has heightened extremely, like in the last 5 years. Every show I watch, the wife is an interior designer, or the whatever, somebody's working at a design firm. And
Yeah.
it always kind of pains me because they're always just like flipping through wallpaper books and stuff like that on the shows, and I'm like, that's not what we do, like, at all.
Right.
But my point is that a lot of people can definitely, benefit from just having a really good foundation to get a head start in this industry. I didn't have that benefit when I started. I literally had to get it out of the mud. I had to figure everything out. I had so much trial and errors throughout the years. So to be able to at least put together this workbook for people to use and implement into their businesses, I'm extremely excited about. My team is extremely excited about it. So we can't wait for you guys to have it, read it, take it in, and actually start and scale successful businesses.
Congratulations on the book. I cannot wait. I'm just going to get it just to support.
Oh my God,
Again,
you're so cute.
I'm not going to try anything, my husband and his brothers flip, so just give my 2 cents, and I don't put any holes in my wall. But as you heard it, if you guys are looking to be an interior designer and just looking for that blueprint, it's so important to have a mentor. Even if it's not face to face, just reading it on a page is still giving you an insight on that person, on how they started. She's been in the business for 8 years, you guys. So everything that's in this book will definitely help you, grow your business.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Here's the thing about design.
Here's the thing about design. So again, she said this is recorded, so in 2 weeks it will already be out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get in a little bit personal, girl. Now,
Okay.
you're an entrepreneur and a
Mm-hmm.
mom, and you're
Yes.
beautiful, and just how is your mental dealing with so much, having so many roles, you're a business owner, you're a boss, you have people under you, you working with different vendors. How is your mental, and the reason why I just wanted to talk about this is because one thing about African American people is that we do not want to talk about our mental health, right? I don't know what it was growing up that we just kept it hidden, or kept, as we put it, you keep your dirty laundry behind you.
Right.
When you come in, the house better be clean, everything can go in your room. But just talking to I'm gonna be president of the Women's Council next year, and we was
Wow.
having, thank you, we was having a conversation about mental health, and it is stressful dealing with so much. So I just want to ask you, like, how do you handle everything that's on your plate?
It is not easy. Let me start by saying that, I try to put a graceful face out publicly just for the strength of Black excellence. I want people to see nothing but excellence at all times. But behind the scenes, in full transparency, it is very difficult. It's very difficult to maintain, a business, scale a business, to deal with all of these different entities. And being a designer, I'm dealing with the most sacred and the biggest purchase of people's lives, which is their home, and to be working in the home with them for an extended period of time is a long-term commitment. Whereas if you are selling something like a hair service or beauty industry, it's a quick transaction. That person is in and out that day. Maybe, even in real estate, it's maybe a couple months, but for designers, we could be married to the family for a year. And so that strenuous, when you are married into all of I like to say we're married into all of these different families at one time, it does get very, very stressful. And for me, I have like strong boundaries and cutoffs because I'm no good if I'm completely drained. So I have hard stops every single day. I'm a mother, so I make sure my daughter is first and foremost in everything I do. I love to include her in everything that I do. She does rarely calls me mommy. She calls me mommy at home, but she loves to call me Marissa Nelums. And that's because she grew up in my office, and that is how people address me. That's how I answer our phones, all of those things. So, just in that in itself, having someone to watch me do the things that I'm doing every day, it definitely helps as a motivator, but it also just strengthens me to understand that it's so much bigger than me. So when it is tough, I do have my daughter to thank, just for that extra boost. And she's just such a lovely little lady. She is so encouraging and so kind all the time. So even when it's tough, I have her, and I'm so grateful for that. But yes, in full transparency, having boundaries has helped me just stay mentally sane throughout some of this, just years in time, because it's ever going. It never just like stops. There's always something happening, something going on, something that needs to be fixed and resolved, or something good that's happening, and then it needs your attention. So with that, I like to say, after 5, that's it. I'm not working on the weekends. You have to do a special request to get me to work on the weekends. Any client correspondence, you have to go through my team first. There's a lot of things that I had to put in place to buy myself more time to be myself and not a CEO. And those are two very different things. And with this industry and with, just popularity from people, I felt like I started to lose my identity, and I became Glass House. And people wouldn't even call me my name. It was like, hey, Glass House. house and I'm like, I'm Marissa. Hi. So for that, and I think that's a blessing. That's a good thing to,
Right.
that occurred. But for me, it was just about mentally wrapping my mind around my identity and maintaining that, all while scaling and maintaining this business. So having those hard boundaries definitely helped me do all of this.
I love it. I love it. And you definitely brought up your daughter. She's so beautiful. And just, and I just see it's very important just to have, I mean, because she's a little girl, but just have that role model. I guess I'm still a role model for my boys, but it's different when it's a
Yes.
little girl. So it's just beautiful to see. One of the things my son did at his kid college, and it was like, why you want to be an entrepreneur? And he brought me up. So it does melt your heart.
Isn't that just like the most special thing ever? Like, oh my God, they're watching. Like,
Yeah.
they're watching like consciously, but then it's like when the subconscious things happen or the things like, them mentioning you in a school project, like it's just so fulfilling because it's like outside of what I can do for somebody else, this is the bigger picture.
Yeah, I love that. So we just gonna have we're gonna just shoot off some questions and you just answer them, okay?
All right,
What's
let's
your
do
favorite
it.
color?
All of them.
Oh, girl, what's your favorite movie?
Ooh, that's a good one. I got like a lot. Okay, favorite. Waiting to exhale.
Favorite TV show?
Ooh, Snowfall.
Snowfall. Oh, I didn't like the last season. I
I did
mean,
not like the last season, but
that's
I think I got a lot. I love Atlanta with Danny Glover. Oh my God, there's Sex in the City was incredible. I kept that on my TV for years. Power. I'm a huge movie and TV buff. That's why I don't watch HGTV because there's always something playing in my house.
right.
But you name it, I love it. I watch every black movie there is to watch. You know how they do the surveys, name 100 black movies, have you all 100 checking every box.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Friday night, are you in or you out?
In.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Out to dinner, favorite food?
Oysters.
Oysters. Oh,
Oysters. Preferably West Coast.
Favorite designer?
Marissa Nelums.
I love it. I know you said you didn't have too many mentors, but someone that you find as a mentor, but having directly,
That's so hard. You know what? I don't say mentor as much as just like colleagues. Like my colleagues, I was on the phone with a colleague yesterday and we were on the phone for 2 hours just talking about the industry. So I have many people that I would chat it up with. Asia from Oblige Interiors out of Atlanta. She's a good friend of mine. Kia is the president of the Black Interior Design Network. And she's actually hosting a conference coming up in September at the end of this month in California. And she's a good colleague of mine, and we chat. And then there's Ricardo of Design Incredible. He and I have been good friends in this entire 8 years. So there's a lot of different people that I bump shoulders with. I wouldn't say mentors so much because mentors, like they're really giving you the roadmap and they're kind of helping you on your career. We just kind of bounce off of each other. So if it's like an equal mentorship, this is what I'm doing in my business that's working. This is what I'm doing in my business that's working. Or girl, these clients is crazy. Or,
you need that. You definitely need that.
And I am so grateful to have that community. So I don't necessarily have a traditional mentor in this moment, but I do have an incredible, incredible network of great designers that I talk to.
Okay. And I'm you know what, this is what this is all about, because people was asking me, like, you're interviewing so many people, even in your industry or even realtors or, hey, it's so much money out there. And it's so cool to network and have that buddy that you can talk to, because only another person in your industry will understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So well, we're going to wrap things up, but I did want to ask you, what is something about your industry that you wish people could understand a little bit better?
It's expensive. It's expensive. It's expensive. That's the biggest thing. The biggest takeaway, I think, is people educating themselves on the cost of Real furniture, not like IKEA furniture, not like actual designs, like actual customized furniture pieces, drapery. The cost of it all is expensive. And I think that's the biggest shocker to people is the sticker price on some of the items. Like I've literally sold chandeliers for $100,000 to clients before, like one piece,
Yeah.
6 figures, one piece.
Listen, you buy what you pay for, right? And if the chandelier is gonna last forever, but it's gonna be beautiful, and it's probably gonna be in the house forever. But if you get some raking dink Home Depot chandelier, it's gonna be out. So
it can stay up and just be basic for forever. Or with this chandelier, and I know we're wrapping up, but just even let me tell you how important it is to invest in design. I built this home in Florida. It was 8,000 square feet. We did it from the ground up. I picked every finish, every crown molding, door trim, everything. And we put these lights. I actually put one in the main foyer. So when you drive past at night, you see it. And the clients, the second the house was done and everything was up, they were getting people pulling into the house, knocking on the door, offering double of what they paid for the house multiple times. So that in itself is just an indication of how well a designer can make your property so unique and so interesting that you could possibly double your profit right away.
And 2 cents about that, if you have a really great designer and they really make your house what it is, you get 2 checks at the closing table. Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying. You know,
just saying.
You get 2 wire transfers in your account. You sell a house and you sell the furniture. You can't sell it all together.
Yeah, and that's and the thing, even if you keep it, it's still, it can definitely hold value depending upon the designer and the selection of it. So invest in good pieces.
Well, I appreciate you so much, Marissa, for coming on and talking with me today. Again, you guys will find us on my YouTube channel, Let's Talk Thursdays. All her information will be in the bio. So thank you again. And I can't wait to come and see your store. I'm gonna be coming.
Yes, please come see me. And thank you again for having me. And best of luck and all the blessings on your journey in this upcoming year. And just let me know how I can jump in and help, girl.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye-bye.